But I can tell you, Ellison has talked in recent months about how he wants to sustain the news business in the United States. And he's talked about his belief that, quote, the majority of the country longs for news that is balanced and is fact-based. And Wolf, that sure sounds a lot like CNN's mission.
How's it going, everyone? Dronetek here. You know, sometimes I naively think that the media has been fully exposed and beaten, and there's really nothing left to do at this point other than mock them. But then you have Brian Stelter poking his head out from a hole to remind us all that they will never stop gaslighting this country.
Now, more broadly, CNN employees and viewers have real concerns about whether Paramount CEO David Ellison will uphold the editorial independence that CNN is known for. There has been severe political turbulence in recent months, and President Trump has long sought to weaken CNN. Last December, Trump said, quote, it's imperative that CNN be sold. And now that is what's happening. So far, Paramount has not yet commented on its victory in this bidding war against Netflix or telegraphed its intentions for CNN. And recent controversies at CBS News have unsettled and unnerved journalists there. But I can tell you, Ellison has talked in recent months about how he wants to sustain the news business in the United States. And he's talked about his belief that, quote, the majority of the country longs for news that is balanced and is fact-based. And Wolf, that sure sounds a lot like CNN's mission.
Right.
And Wolf, that sure sounds a lot like CNN's mission. A lot of similarities here. And the bottom line is CNN is a highly profitable business, and it would seem foolish for anyone to put that at risk.
Ho, ho, ho! Fiction can be fun, but I find the reference section much more enlightening.
Turns out I got COVID.
Look, they put a yellow
we
filter on
immediately
me
threw
too.
the kitchen sink at it. All
They
kinds
did.
of meds.
Well, it was more Brian Stelter was the gleeful one. But the point is, that's a lie. But don't you think that a lie like that is dangerous on a news network when you know that they know they're lying?
And we want you to know that our hearts are out there marching with them.
What that is to people. We've been worried for years about AI deepfakes, that computer-generated images are going to trick people into believing something that's totally false. Cheap fakes are a little bit simpler. They're cheap. They're just distorted, out-of-context videos, chopped up in certain ways, constructed in certain ways. That's what we're seeing.
And Biden campaign, what they have an issue with is that these outlets are wrapping these videos in very misleading context, right? Saying that this is evidence that Biden was freezing. He's unable to walk off stage on his own. And that's obviously not the case, but that's how it's being portrayed in right-wing media.
You've probably seen it by now, the viral video sweeping the internet of a mob of MAGA hat-wearing high school students surrounding a Native American chanting and drumming in the nation's capital at the Indigenous Peoples March. I wish I could say to these students, there's no place for this in our society.
But I can tell you, Ellison has talked in recent months about how he wants to sustain the news business in the United States. And he's talked about his belief that, quote, the majority of the country longs for news that is balanced and is fact-based. And Wolf, that sure sounds a lot like CNN's mission. A lot of similarities here. And the bottom line is CNN is a highly profitable business, and it would seem foolish for anyone to put that at risk.
Fuck yeah!
CNN is Democrat Party propaganda for Democrats. Just like most of the media, and it's not even like this is anything new. There have been polls going back for 20 years now showing plummeting public trust in the media. When you look at the partisan breakdown, it's not hard to see that the media caters to one party. And the irony of Brian Stelter, of all people, complaining that Donald Trump or anybody are trying to take down CNN is laughable, seeing as how his job used to be nothing but trying to take Fox News down. Look, it doesn't take a brain genius to see the pattern at CNN and many other outlets, that anytime they make a mistake and put out a story that's false, it always cuts against the Republican Party. But I even asked Grok about this to tally up all the stories that turned out to be wrong or fake that cut against or hurt the Republican Party versus the amount of stories they put out that did the same to Democrats. And wouldn't you know it, it couldn't come up with any. It came up with a few for Republicans, as you can see here, although we know there are many, many, many more. It came up with 2 examples here for Democrats, but if you look at it, it's not the same thing. It's still Democrats protecting Democrats. They put out a story that may have hurt one Democrat, but it helped another. You know, it's all really, that's all just like inner Democrats. It's not at all comparable to these straight up fake stories they passed along, simply because it hurt Republicans and helped Democrats. Folks, don't get me wrong. I don't want the government, be it a Republican or a Democrat-controlled government, having any control over the flow of information. I don't like it, but we're in this situation where the Democrats have already been doing that for a very long time, and the only way it seems that we can stop that is for the Republicans to basically do the same thing. I don't want it. I don't think it's a good idea. I actually agree with Capehart in that it makes the country worse off, which goes back to something I've always said, is that if we all adopt Democrat Party standards, leftist standards, then it just makes everything worse. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments, and if you made it this far, you might as well hit that like button and subscribe. I do post on a regular basis, so make sure to keep checking back for more. Thanks a lot.